are so cute, but did you know they can be pretty lethal as well? Today we're diving into some fascinating panda facts that you probably didn't know. Well, let's start with their iconic fur, shall we? Did you know pandas don't just come in black and white? There are also brown and white pandas. Meet Qizai, and he is currently the only captive brown panda in the world. He's not the only brown panda ever discovered. In recent years, Chinese researchers have also spotted other brown pandas in the wild. Before Qizai, there was another brown panda named Dandan, and it seems like she has a darker shade of brown than Qizai. Because of Qizai's rare color, he's instantly recognizable in any panda family photos. Qizai is so adorable, and you know people want more brown pandas just like him, so we all kind of hope that he can pass down his brown fur to his offspring. The good news is he has cubs. But the bad news is, none of them have inherited his unique color. In fact, his eldest son, Qinhua, has way too much color around his mouth. And because of that, Qinhua earned the nickname Little Face Mask. The funny thing is, this trait makes him look older than Qizai. You might wonder if Qizai is albino. Well, he's not. True albino pandas are almost entirely white with red eyes. Researchers were able to spot one albino panda in the wild. Did you know there are actually two subspecies of pandas? There are some small differences between the two. The pandas you usually see, you know, the ones used as mascots, are the Sichuan pandas. A classic example would be the WWF logo. It is based on a Sichuan panda named Jiji. Sichuan pandas are mainly from the Sichuan province. The other subspecies is Qinling pandas. They are located in the Qinling Mountains in Shanxi province, such as Qizai and his family. When you compare these two subspecies, Sichuan pandas have larger heads and longer snouts, making them look more like bears, while Qinling pandas have rounder heads and shorter snouts, making them look more like cats. The average body length of Sichuan pandas is 1.4 to 1.5 meters, whereas Qinling pandas average 1.2 to 1.4 meters. Another minor difference is, Sichuan pandas have clearly defined black and white fur, but Qinling pandas have dark brown fur on their chests. I know some of you may want to ask, which subspecies is the brown pandas? Well, so far, brown pandas have only been found among Qinling pandas from Shanxi province. Yes, both Dandan and Qizai are from the same subspecies. Pretty amazing, right? All pandas in the world belongs to China. Even though you might have seen some pandas in zoos outside of China, still, all of them belongs to China, including the ones born overseas. Well, all except one. Xinxin in Mexico is the only exception. But how come? You see, in 1975, China gifted Mexico a pair of pandas named Ying and Bei. These two had a female cub together in 1981 named Doi. Her birth was a sensation. She was so popular that she even had her own songs.
Pequeño panda, no te imaginas lo que hay de cosas en este. Doi panda por la radio y por la televisión.
When Doi became an adult, she had a female cub with Jia, all the way from the London Zoo. And that cub is Xinxin, the third generation of Chinese Mexican, and the last panda in Mexico. Today, Xinxin is 35 years old and still thriving and kicking, and that shows Mexico did an amazing job in taking care of her. Under human care, pandas can live up to 30 years, while wild pandas live only around 15 to 20 years. Although Xinxin is old, she's not the oldest that has ever lived. That title belongs to Jia and Xinxin, who both lived to 38 years old. Now back to panda diplomacy. How come China doesn't gift other countries pandas? Well, they actually did, but that was a long time ago, back in the 1950s to the 1970s. China officially gifted 23 giant pandas to 9 countries, 2 to the Soviet Union, 5 to North Korea, 2 to the United States, 4 to Japan, 2 to France, 2 to the United Kingdom, 2 to West Germany, 2 to Spain, and 2 to Mexico. That's a total of 23 pandas. However, 24 panda eventually lived abroad permanently because one additional panda, Jiji, was acquired by an Austrian animal broker who traded several African animals with the Beijing Zoo in exchange for a panda. Remember the WWF logo we talked about earlier? Yeah, that's based on her. And these 24 pandas acted as a soft power to help China to build a good image during the Cold War, and it worked. But if gifting pandas works so well for diplomacy, why did China stop doing that? Because that has to do with the panda crisis. One of the reasons China stopped gifting pandas is because of their critically low population back in the 1980s. And after 1982, China shifted from gifting to leasing pandas to protect the species. But what caused the panda population crisis? Overhunting, habitat loss, and food shortage. Let's talk about the food shortage, because there was a time when pandas could not find any bamboos to eat. Here's something most people don't know. Bamboos can grow flowers, and that is not a good thing. That is actually a disaster for pandas. When bamboo flowers, it produces seeds and then dies. This is part of the bamboo life cycle. Between 1974 and 1976, large areas of many bamboo species flowered and died, and this caused a famine among pandas. When researchers conducted the first panda census, they found 138 panda corpses in the wild. In 1983, bamboo forests flowered again, threatening pandas once again. In the 80s, Chinese people launched charity campaigns to raise funds to save pandas, and there was a song called Panda Mimi that goes with the campaign. It wrote about the panda famine. The first few lines of the song goes, "The bamboo is flowering. Mimi lies in her mother's arms counting the stars. Stars, oh stars, they're so pretty, but where will tomorrow's breakfast be?" I'll put the song in the description. Despite their cute looks and goofy actions, pandas are actually pretty smart. Some say that an adult panda's IQ is equivalent to a 3 or 4-year-old child. And it is not hard to see, because pandas show amazing learning skills by imitating humans. For example, Meng copied many human movements from his caretaker, such as his caretaker struggled to break bamboos and would grit his teeth, and Meng saw it and copied that exact expression. Meng is the only panda who snaps bamboo like this. Most pandas simply snap bamboos calmly with their mouth on the head or on the nose, calmly. Another example of pandas copying humans would be Fubao. Her caretaker taught her how to climb trees the human way, which it looks like hopping up a tree with both legs at once. But that's not how pandas climb trees. When pandas climb trees, they wobble their bodies and move their limbs naturally, like how they walk on land. Here's something fun. Did you know most pandas are Cancers, Leos, and Virgos? That is because panda mating season is between March and May, and pregnancy lasts 3 to 5 months, so usually cubs are born in the summer. Newborn pandas are so tiny. It's much smaller than you would expect, and they do not yet to have the iconic black and white color. The colors develop a couple of days later. You might not believe this, but these cute fluffy pandas actually have a mighty nickname, the Iron-Eating Beast. Yeah, I know, that sounds way too tough for such a soft creature, right? Alright, here's how that name came to be. Panda is called Xiong Mao in Chinese. Xiong means bear, Mao means cat. And before panda was called Xiong Mao in Chinese, it was called Mo. The name Mo can be found in several ancient texts. For example, in the first surviving Chinese dictionary, Ya, pandas were called Mo, white leopard, and it resembles a bear with a small head and short legs. Its body modeled into black and white. It can lick and eat copper, iron, and bamboo roots. Its bones are strong and rigid, solid with little marrow, and its skin repels moisture. That appearance description sounds exactly like a panda, and it mentions pandas can eat iron. In another text, it directly mentions the nickname. It says, the iron-eating beast looks like a bear with a yellow and black coat. Some say it is the so-called white leopard. We all know pandas are black and white, but sometimes some of them can get a little bit dirty with the dirt. And that's why some people say pandas are black and yellow in the ancient text. Speaking of the nickname Iron-Eating Beast, there's a viral mythology about a tribal leader, Xiong, once rode a panda into battle against the Yellow Emperor. As epic as that sounds, it's completely false. A Chinese professor already debunked it, explaining that this false myth was created by people misreading ancient texts.
咱们就说这个所谓骑熊猫，第一，误解史料当中的字义；第二，甚至史书都看错行了。 啊，才会有这样的一个传闻，也充分反映了现代有些人看书是囫囵吞枣，还有一部分信众则是不读原点，然后呢，你说什么我是什么。
But to this day, this false mythology is still circulating on the Chinese internet. Panda is not just a cute animal, it symbolizes strength, endurance, and peace. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.